Hey Flosstube, long time no see. Things have been a little crazy, and as much as during something like a worldwide pandemic and quarantine that we're like, well, we have so much more time now to do all of these things, sometimes it's okay not to do the things, and it's okay to just be. I've really enjoyed recently when Nicole was doing her video and she made it where we could see Ginger the whole time. That was great for me and Jim. So that's what we're going to do today, isn't it, Buster? Yeah, we're going to angle the camera, so that we get all Buster, all video. I would say that I've really embraced apocalypse living and cut my own hair, but we all know that I cut my own hair all the time anyway. I did this. Jim hasn't straightened it up yet, but it's not that bad. So, I don't know. I also colored it dark purple yesterday, which I was already planning on doing anyway. Cutie patootie. Aww. Yeah. Sweet boy. So there's that. So I got my Buster. I got my coffee. I'm working from home these days. Jim is not working from home. He is alone in his truck for work a lot of the time anyway, so I think I'm disrupting his nap. He just did, which is annoyed Buster huffing. But Jim is alone in his truck most of the time anyway, but they've pretty much told him to avoid all of his coworkers and stay solo. Don't come back to the shop if there's people there. Don't team up on projects. It's going to be hard for me to film with all this cute. So there's that. Where are you going? Oh, baby. He makes this better. Dharma is upstairs in her Dharma spot, which is on mine and Jim's bed under everything. Okay, well, I'm covered in Buster now. Okay, so how are we going to do this? I can't remember what I showed last time, so we'll show some whips and finishes. I think I showed how far I got on Death by Cross Stitch. It's just sitting in the Q-snap with the thread that I was using here at the bottom. This is where I am. Honestly, in the grand scheme of things, this isn't that far into this project. So there's that. I will get back to it, but right now what my brain needs is not something where I have to make a lot of like artistic choices or think too hard. And every time I do something on this, you've got to make decisions. I don't want decisions right now, so this is staying in the basket. I joined and started on the Jane Marshall Baby Scout Outback Sal, and I finished that. I did this in February, I believe. I changed the colors, just some overdyes that I had on hand. I don't know how I'm going to finish this. I need to trim it up. Part of me has told myself that finishes like this, that once this is blown over, that maybe even something this small I'll take to Michael's and kind of help boost the local economy, because we all know it's going to need it. So there's that. Really, really enjoyed that piece, and it was nice to get a finish in. This is done on I know the fabric name is Chocolate Milk, and I cannot remember if that is one of Stephanie's fabrics or one of Leslie's fabrics. I'm sorry guys, the brain is not working well. I was already having issues stitching every day just because of stress before all of this started. My boss retired at the end of January, so February and March were just filled with extra work and a lack of direction and all kinds of work-related stress that I was honestly having a hard time dealing with. And I was working some 12-hour days, and we were training a new class. Well, we were. That stopped. In fact, I probably need to email all those volunteers in training and tell them, you know, I know you guys know we're not having class on Tuesday, but we're not having class on Tuesday. So yeah, so I was already not stitching a lot because of all of that stress and working long hours. I mean, I was just coming home and I was laying down on the couch and watching television. And that's just what was happening. So I finished that in February somehow. And then for my A Very Scarlet birthday sale that I started March 1st, this was only about 6 days of stitching, and I just finished it. So this is the Scarlet House Salem Hill Sampler. They did it. It looks blue in this picture, but this says it calls for 40 count black linen from Weeks Dye Works. That's not what I use. This is a 36 count. It's like a really pretty dark blue from Coloring Cotton that came in one of their Halloween boxes, not last year, but the year before. I just pulled threads that I had on hand, changed it to colors that I wanted. I think I'm going to try to turn this one into a pillow, a little pillow. I've seen a couple of people on Instagram do that with this, with like a little green pom-pom trim. And it's so cute and adorable. There's actually supposed to be a FFOing weekend this weekend for, I believe it's Amy Baruch's birthday. So I think I'm going to give that a shot. I've never, well, I have used trim in sewing before. It was back when I was sewing more and taking home ec in high school. So there's that. I'll give it a shot. So I finished this, and I racked my brain trying to figure out what was going to be next, because I kind of wanted to work on all Scarlet House pieces this month because I was doing the sale, but then everything that I was pulling, my brain didn't want to think that hard or count that much, or change colors, or work on 40 count, being beat by a tail. So I ended up pulling this out, which I started, I think last year, for Jen Lee Quirks and Stitches Age Doesn't Matter sale for her birthday. So I thought, well, that would be really, really appropriate for me to pull this back out and get a lot of work done on it. It's all one color. It's some counting, but it's not that bad. It feels more mindless, just enough to keep your mind occupied, but not too much to cause you stress. I'm doing this on a piece of Silk Weaver 36 count fabric called Mudstone, and I'm doing it with Gentle Arts Storm Clouds. Got a little bit of the thread right here. Let me grab that. Hold on. Buster's getting up. He's like, you keep leaning over me and no one wants this. So if I get up close, hopefully you can see some of the beautiful variegation and color changes in this floss. I absolutely love it. I think it's so pretty. We're going to readjust so we can see him. Because that's part of what you guys are here for, right? I know. I'm not confused. I'm really enjoying this. When I started it, I pretty much just had the chimneys done on this house. I had everything else done. But I have worked my way down since this weekend and almost finished this house this weekend. I ran out of thread and I was like, I'm not starting another thread just to finish this house before I go to sleep. It's not happening. So as I'm not working, or when I'm not working from home, because I'm working from home at least next week too. We got that order yesterday or the day before. I'll be working on this, and maybe I'll get another finish. That would be fantastic. We had a town hall from our governor here in Georgia last night, and I 100% expected him to say that we were moving to shelter in place. He did not say that. He basically, more of the same, which is he's closed down bars and nightclubs and restaurants, dine-in functions, so everything is curbside or drive-through, and you can't gather in people of 10 or more. But he didn't shelter in place, and it feels like it's getting worse to me. The mayor of Atlanta has ordered shelter in place, and they interviewed her, and she was like, well, you know, I'm not the governor, but I would have done it. I mean, I respect his decision, but I would have done it. So, gotta say, I kind of agree with her. Jim and I have been going to the park during the day, or when he gets home from work, rather. And social distancing, I'm like, if there are people there and approaching me, like, I get off the path. Like, I'm staying away from everybody. But my sister works for public health, and I sent her a picture, and the playground was full of kids. And there was a group of teenagers playing football. Anyway, let's look at haul. Let's do haul. That'll be fun. Before I go to haul, I want to show you guys, she sent me more than just this, but I want to show you guys the gift that I got from Diana. It is Kismet Stitches for my birthday this week. I turned 38 on Wednesday, and it was odd. It was a weird birthday. Jim and I always go and get Thai food for my birthday. It's kind of the routine, and we couldn't do that. So we tried to order curbside, and you can't get through to any of the restaurants. So we just cooked at home. We were safe. Diana knows this is my favorite. I love greens. She knows that. I had given her, I think for Christmas, the Blackbird Designs Sisters book. And she pulled this little motif from the book that I gave her, which is one of my favorite motifs. But I didn't put it together. She had to tell me. And made this for me with this beautiful silk tie. And I love the backing fabric, which you can tell she fussy cut and like perfectly centered on there. Girl, you get me. And she was explaining to me, like I didn't know already, but the gifts are definitely her love language, and girl, it can be mine too, and it was definitely needed, and it made my day. So I actually have this on my foyer table right now, so I see it all the time, and I think that's probably where it's going to stay, because I want to see it all the time. What do you think, Buster? His eye, if you're looking, is a little crusty. I think that he and Dharma, because we're in the middle of pollen and allergy season in Georgia, which with a virus going around doesn't help. But I think he and Dharma both have allergies this time of year because they both get a little runny. Don't you, buddy? If it gets too bad, I clean his eyes and I've got some medicine, but we're okay right now. let's talk haul. Before I get into things that I bought from Market, I will show you something that I saw pop up on eBay, Buster Hair, that was an out of print chart, and it popped up. I had a notification set where it would tell me if one was posted, and it popped up, and it was an out of print price, but not like a ridiculous one. It was doable. It was 30 bucks. I'll put it out there. So I was like, I pay 30 bucks for some charts now that are new. So while this wasn't what it originally was, I'll pay that. So this is Exemplars from the Heart, When the Calling Birds Sing. It's a lot of full coverage stitching, which I kind of really dig. But I really like this one. Let's get up close so you can kind of see what's going on in there. And all of that lawn. I got a text message during showing you that, and I was reading on my phone from my sister. Craziness. Okay, we will show not the boring stuff first, but the least exciting stuff first. I tried to spread my love around to some of my different friends and small shop owners that I love. So I bought different stuff from different people. I bought these threads, which are the new gas colors. This is, I think it's Glass Slipper and Witching Hour. I can't tell a lot about Witching Hour yet. I'm trying to... It is what it is. I can't tell a lot about Witching Hour yet. It's kind of black. It's kind of got some brown to it. I don't know. When I stitch with it, I'll know more. Glass Slipper just looks like another gray, but not that different from like the Banker's gray that I have. It's just me being honest. These are the limited edition Gentle Arts. This kind of looks like a pinky terracotta kind of color. And then the other one looks to me like a lighter version of Garden Gate. And then these are the classic Colorworks that came with the chart. Pull these out. You have Lighthouse, Chesapeake Bay, and Mariner's Compass. Which is basically kind of a, to me, like a pinky white cream, a very, very light brown khaki, and Chesapeake Bay. It reminds me of another classic Colorworks color that I bought recently called Stormy Night. I don't have it right here, but it's a really pretty blue. Like if you're into a nice antique blue, get some of this Chesapeake Bay because it really is lovely. I had to have these. Beth Twist put these out, and as morbid as they are, I mean, they're totally my style, and I just loved them. These are the two sets of project label sets that she did. This one is Angels and Willows, and this one is Bones and Urns. So that shows you the different labels that come in this pack. Angels and Willows. And it's basically, upon my death, I bequeath this work. And I know it's kind of morbid, but we as stitchers, I think about that kind of stuff. Like, I'm like, who of my nieces and nephews would like this piece one day? I bought a copy of Consider the Lilies. It's nothing I'm going to stitch in the immediate future. I have finished His Eyes on the Sparrow. I have that framed and hanging. I don't know where I would put this one. Going up the stairs next to it, potentially. I don't know. The colors in this one are a little bright for me. I would have to do some work on it. And that's, as we discussed, not where Emily's head is. So, but this is a fantastic book. If you do not already have, and if you want to stitch this or the other, she re-released His Eyes on the Sparrow in book form like this, I mean, it's nice. It's really nice. It's really nice. I will say I'm a person who, when I'm actually stitching, I have an issue with these because I like to take like a piece of paper from my chart and magnet it to my Q-snap on my frame, so I'm kind of hands-free and I don't have to pick up my chart and look a lot. It's just there. A magnet won't hold this up. So I tend to take the staples out and deconstruct it, which I'm sure some people are going, ah! It's just a chart. I bought a picture of 36 count fawn from PTP, which is one of their new colors that they came out with. It's really pretty. I would like to get a piece of vellum as well. Doesn't smell bad. I just got a whiff of it. This, it reminds me of another one of their colors, but it's not coming to me. But, I mean, something's going to go on this. It will be a good sampler color. The more I stitch samplers, I will say though, the less drawn I am to the really modeled fabrics. It used to be totally my thing, and while I still like them, now I'm like, eh. It's so funny how our tastes change. What are you doing, buddy? Just purring? You just purring? Charts from Nashville. These I ordered from the same seller. Not that, this. These I ordered from the same seller, and it was someone who offered free shipping if you spent so much. So it made sense to grab an extra chart, even though it wasn't a Nashville chart, for the free shipping. But Nashville related, of course I got this. Guys, this is fantastic. I'm intimidated by the idea of doing it on two fabrics, but I really love the look of doing it on two fabrics. This says it was done on Heartland and Wren, both of which I have, I think. I don't know if my piece of Heartland is big enough. Maybe it is for half of this. I don't know. But I love this. And I even love all of the colors and would really like to get this kitted up. I think there's some people starting this May 1st. I think there's a Sal. I could be wrong. But I think there's a May 1st Sal. Check it out. I also got this. And all of the pink will get changed to an like burnt orange or something like that. But I love this so much. I love the huge house. I love the couple. And I love the sentiment. I belong with you. This is Sweetheart Hill by Plum Street Samplers. Yeah, the heart that they're holding might have to go to. But other than those changes, I love this. Oh, I got a new tattoo where I got my planchette fixed right before shit hit the fan and the world shut down. Like right as it was happening on Friday the 13th, I already had this appointment and I'd already paid my deposit. And I was like, should I go? Should I not go? So I went, and it was only me and like one other person in there. So I got that fixed. I think he did a fantastic job because the other one looked like crap. What's funny is the artist that did the original one like wandered in because, go figure, he didn't have any appointments and was watching. And when he walked out of the room, I looked at my regular guy and I was like, he's the one that did this. He's the one that screwed up my arm. He was like, good to know. It looks so much better now. He cleaned it up. So there's that. And then this was my free shipping filler because it's one I've wanted. And I love this Plum Street. It's so pretty. Maybe I should get this one up too. Get all the things. I think a lot of us are stress shopping, and I'm really trying to stop because I think I heard my credit card scream yesterday. But I pay it off in full every month, so it's not like I'm doing anything bad, but it's not good. I got this one because for some reason, this one from Lila's Studio, it's just a really simple sampler, but it spoke to me. It, of course, makes me think of Letitia a little with those peacocks and all the goodies at the bottom. This is Janet Robertson of Lila's Studio. It only has like 5 colors. It's on vintage autumn gold, 100 by 231. It's so pretty. I have some vintage autumn gold. This one I saved for last because this is probably my absolute favorite thing to come out of market. With that said, them choosing to go with the bright colors of the original is not my favorite thing. So even though I wanted to start this as soon as I got it, I'm going to have to do a lot of editing of this piece and antiquing the colors. But this is the penis sampler. Hannah Peniston. Although when you watch the Fiber Talk where the designer that did the reproduction, she calls her Peniston. She'll always be Peniston. This is the penis sampler with Eve and Eve in their tight pants and heels and pasties. Let's get in so you can really see Eve and Eve. And they got their hair up. They're rocking it. Hannah Peniston. I really love this. I love the huge house. I love the lawn. That honeysuckle border is going to be a pain in the tuchus, but it's going to be really pretty. It does not look fun at all, but I will do it because I am obsessed with the rest of it. And of course it has a religious, I want the witness, Lord, and Jesus, and Lord, all of that across the top of it. I don't know if I'll change that yet or not, probably. I just noticed that Queenstown did this one. Where this is this is a card glued to the front. You don't really see that as much anymore. But it's a very, it's a more expensive chart, but it's a well done chart. It is charted for DMC, and there it also has 5 skeins of Forest Glade from Gentle Arts, so that you could get some variegation in the lawn here. $277 by $238. It looks like there are a few rice stitches. I wonder where those are. Where are the rice stitches? Don't know. Anyway, probably do this on a darker fabric. I'm going to antique it up. If I do decide to figure out some colors during this quarantine period, I had a few people say they would like to see how I do something like that, so maybe I'll film it. But it may not be something that I get to. We'll see. Take care of each other. Be good neighbors. Stay safe. Stay home. Social distance. And hopefully I'll film again soon, and I'll see you guys then. Bye.